Magandang araw muli sa inyong lahat. Welcome sa ating channel, Sir Lopez Vlog. Sa araw na ito ay magkakaroon tayo ng self-evaluation dito sa subject na Fundamentals of Criminal Investigation. Subject ito ng mga first year na naka-enroll sa kursong Criminology. 25 katanungan ang inihanda natin upang alamin ang inyong mga academic preparations pagdating sa subject na ito. Ang mga kasagutan later on, makikita lamang natin ito sa ating description box. Alright? Kung nakahanda na tayo, start na natin sa question number 1. What is an art which deals with the identity and location of the offender and provide evidence of his guilt in a criminal proceeding? Is it letter A, preliminary investigation, letter B, crime investigation, letter C, criminal investigation, or letter D, all of them? Question number 2. What is the purpose of gathering evidence in criminal investigation? A. Serve as souvenir for investigator. Letter B. For the prosecution of the offender. Letter C. To serve as a wake-up call for the victim. Or letter D. For documentary purposes. Number 3. In criminal investigation, the length of the service or the length of service is a guarantee for excellence. A. True. B. False. C. May be true. Or letter D. May be false. Number 4. As a fundamental rule, all gathered evidence should be handled with care. Why? Letter A. To ensure the exact identity of the evidence. Letter B. To protect its evidentiary value. Letter C. To avoid from destruction. Or letter D. To ensure its monetary value. Number 5. Referring to the knowledge, data gathered and acquired that are necessary as tool in the investigation of crime. A. Document. B. Testimony. C. Information. Or letter D. Evidence. Number 6. What may be used as a tool in crime investigation when a person is cooperating with the investigator? A. Interrogation. B. Interview. C. Instrumentation. Or letter D. Cross-examination. Number 7. This is otherwise known as in-depth investigation. A. Continuing investigation. B. Initial investigation. Letter C. Final investigation. Or letter D. Concluding investigation. Number 8. If you are the investigator, what are you going first to do upon arrival at the crime scene? A. Search for evidence. B. Proceed systematically and uninterruptedly to the conclusion of the processing of the scene. Letter C. Conduct crime scene reconstruction. Or letter D. Protect the crime scene. Number 9. While conducting a crime scene search, if any doubt exists as to the value of an item, what are you going to do? A. Disregard and focus on other evidence. B. Treat it as evidence until proven otherwise. Letter C, ask your superior officer if you will going to include such item, or letter D, all of them are good choices. Number 10. These are pieces of physical evidence that would clear one of blame. A. Real evidence. B. Autoptic evidence. C. Exculpatory evidence, or letter D. Substantial evidence. 11. What kind of sketch is the one prepared by the investigator at the crime scene? A. Investigator's sketch. B. Finished sketch. C. Rough sketch, or letter D. Unfinished sketch. 12. What are you going to do being an investigator to get independent statement from your witnesses? A. Interview your witnesses in group to verify their statements. B. Give reward to the first who give the necessary information. Letter C. Separate the witnesses, or letter D. Encourage your witnesses to speak the truth. 13. As a rule, do not touch, alter, or remove anything at the crime scene until letter A. The evidence has been processed. Letter B. The accused is arrested. Letter C. The superior officer give the order. Letter D. Conclude its necessity. 14. This is the application of instruments and methods of physical sciences to the detection of crime. A. Information. B. Interrogation. Letter C. Interview, or letter D. Instrumentation. 15. This is otherwise known as the acknowledgement of guilt. A. Admission. B. Confession. C. Manifestation, or letter D. Declaration of truth. Number 16. Which of the following qualities should possess by the investigator handling the case? A. He should be thrifty. B. Possess frugality attitude. Letter C. Must be honest, or letter D. All of them. 17. Questioning of a person by the police after taking into custody. A. Interrogation. B. Custodial investigation. Letter C. Preliminary investigation, or letter D. Interview. 18. A good investigator must stick to a task in spite of the monotony of it and many obstacles. Is it letter A. Honesty? B. Perseverance? C. Intelligence, or letter D. Thrifty. 19. The investigator must possess the following except A. A well-rounded educational background. B. A lot of experiences in the job. Letter C. The right attitude, or letter D. None of the above. 20. The fact that the crime has been committed. A. Corpus delicti. B. Proof beyond reasonable doubt. Letter C. Evidence, or letter D. Information. 21. The proper trail that records the sequence of custody, control, and transfer of evidence. A. Chain of custody. B. Corpus delicti. C. Chain of event, or letter D. Chronological record of facts. 22. This doctrine excludes any evidence exposed through other evidence attained by an illegal search, seizure, or arrest. A. Fruits of poisonous tree. B. Mistake of fact. C. Chain of custody, or letter D. Corpus delicti. 23. One of the 6 cardinal points of investigation except A. Where. B. How much. C. What, or letter D. Why. 24. The investigator handling the case, when serious in nature, should file the criminal complaint in letter A. Chief of Police. B. Court. C. Prosecutor's Office, or letter D. Barangay Captain for settlement. 25. An inquiry conducted by law enforcement officers who have jurisdiction over the case for the purpose of gathering evidence for use in the prosecution of the offender before the justice system. A. Preliminary investigation. B. Initial investigation. Letter C. Criminal investigation, or letter D. Custodial investigation. Okay, so natapos na natin ang ating self-evaluation sa araw na ito. Ang mga kasagutan, later on, makikita lamang dito sa ating description box. Alright, hanggang sa muli, maraming salamat. See you again next meeting.